You've logged on to the race-by-race preview for Panasonic Cup Day coming up at Sha Tin on Saturday. Paul Lally is here, as he always is, to give us the selections, and we get things underway at 1 o'clock for racing this week. 10 races all on the turf, and the first of Class 4 over the 1200 with plenty of first starters. Kaholo Angel, Super Legends, Ruby Lot are not. Ruby Lot wears cheek pieces for the first time. Hickory Victory, James Tack, Mission Voice, Panda, all first starters, as is the Absolute. Lady Blue, she's having her first start, and down the bottom, Dashing Success has had 2 trials and will wear blinkers for the first time. Speed map here, Paul, and obviously with so many first starters, this is subject to change this one.
Definitely. Of the racehorses, we know Kaholo Angel has got really good speed and gets a 10-pound claim as well. Ruby Lot likes to go forward. James Tack has shown a little bit of speed in his trials, as his Mission Voice. The Absolute hasn't really been let go, so I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do with him. And Lady Billy, one of the fillies in the race, will probably get back, along with Panda, another one who's trialled quite well recently.
More from Paul shortly. Firstly, though, Nick spoke to the trainer of the first starter in Mission Voice, Mark Newnham.
Mark, Mission Voice, one of your runners on Saturday, a horse we know little about, so I'm hoping you can tell us a bit more. He's had the 3 trials. How impressed have you been with those trials?
Yeah, I've been happy with him all the way through. I've actually I had him in my Sydney stable for a while as well, because he was bought out of the NZ Ready to Run sale last year, and he had a couple of small preps with me in Sydney before coming here. His trials, I've been happy with each of them. Haven't had him off the bridle yet, so that'll be something a little bit new, but every indication that there's a little bit under the bonnet.
What have you seen then, given that you had him in Sydney? Have you seen him develop? Have you seen him change in any way? I mean, is he still the same horse that you saw then, or how has he adapted to Hong Kong?
Oh, he's actually adapted really quickly. He's been here since before the start of the season, so he's had enough time to acclimatise. As a horse, I think the extra time has done him good. He's developed really nicely, and I'm sure he's going to make a good class mile horse. Saturday's 1200 from a wide gate, so more than likely we'll be in the second half of the field somewhere, but I'm sure he'll be hitting the line strongly.
Was it always the plan, Mark, to give him a trial around the bend? I mean, he had a couple down the straight, but then last time obviously 1200. Was that just part of the course, if you will, for him racing over 12 to debut?
Yeah, exactly. His 2 trials have been down the straight, so I only wanted to give him a look around the corner. But look, he handled it well. He didn't jump particularly well that day, but he got in behind them, and then he didn't have a lot of room in the straight, but there's enough to suggest that when asked, he's going to respond.
Got the right man on board to overcome that wide draw as well. Yeah,
well, look, he's been. I put Zach on him in a jump out early on here, and said, look, the ride's yours if you want him, and he hasn't jumped off yet, so that's a good sign.
There he is, Mark Newnham at Mission Voice, one of the first starters. We head to some raced form now, Paul, and Dashing Success would need to improve. Kaholo Angel, he's got the 10-pound claim again this week for Ellis Wong, and another good draw. Yeah,
so I think this is going to really help him, and he's going to get the draw. I think they'll go to the front with him from barrier number 3, keep out of trouble there. And look, the horse has been consistent. He does know how to win. He's been a winner here in Hong Kong in the past as a Griffin. So, look, I think he's one of the main chances. And he finished this race off really nicely, I thought, as well. So with this 10-pound claim, I think he's an uncomplicated ride. So that's why I give him a bit of a chance.
He has placed 2 from 3. Course and distance has Kaholo Angel over the 1200 metres. Super Legends, a first start winner and an impressive first start winner. He carries an extra 10 pounds for it. Kaholo Angel appears again here, and Ruby Lot has had another start since this and went down in a very close 3-way finish.
Yeah, and look, the horse that beat him, I think, is very progressive as well. So, look, a good run here from Ruby Lot. Like, a win from him looks really close. Cheek pieces on for the first time, and he's definitely got the ability. Super Legends with a little bit of a surprise. He was 16-1 here on his debut, and he's got to carry the big weight second up. So that was just a little query I had with him.
Form is good, though, because Telecom Dragon has come out and won since. And here is that race with Ruby Lot. The 3 of them have got Champion Method in the yellow, Ruby Lot and Champion Instinct. It gets pretty tight close to the line. Indeed, there was an overturning of the minor placings. And Ruby Lot, as you said, Paul, must be near a win. Beaten margins, a neck and a short head.
Yeah, I really like Champion Method later in the card. So as such, I like Ruby Lot quite a lot in this race as well. Finished off really strong. Looked like it was coming up to win at this stage. I think it's just been beaten by a really tough horse on the inside. And as you say, didn't get the clearest of runs either. It was just there was that little bit of an issue there with those two. But I think he can win this.
That is a look at the replays for race number 1. What is your top 4?
Yeah, he's going to be on top, Ruby Lot, so we'll put him on top to win this race. To beat Kaholo Angel with a claim. The first starter, Mission Voice, I wanted to put him in because his trials have been good. And another first starter, the Absolute. We'll just need luck from barrier number 13. But I think there's something there with this horse. Luke Ferraris aboard. So 3, 1, 7 and 9.
And Jimmy Ting trained the Absolute on the back of 2 trials ahead of race number 1. Race number 2, this is a Class 5 event, the second race, and the distance of it is 2,000 metres. Co-partner Fion is on the class drop. Fiery Flying has the hood off. Co-partner Era, he's won up to 1650, just one look over 2,000 so far. Diamond Winner wears a hood for the first time. Loyal Ambition minus the blinkers and a tongue tie. Fortune Triple last start win over the 1,800 at Happy Valley. Joyful Champion's placed his last 2 this trip. Generous Friend's gone 1,200, 1,650 and up to 2,000 in what will be his last 3 starts. Loyal Ambition, Joyful Champion go forward. Generous Friend and Fortune Triple, who might actually not mind being 3 wide, Paul, because he goes the same speed all day.
He does. It's just that little run into the first bend. So they try and get their positions early in this race. He might go all the way to the back. Fortune Triple, we'll see what happens with him. But look, Happy Hero's way up in trip as well, so he should get himself a nice run. I think he'll be a little bit further forward, maybe midfield for him. And Fiery Flying, I thought, will get a good run on the inside.
And here is a Fiery Flying. He's placed his last 3 starts. Loyal Ambition leads for home and fades. And Joyful Champion, 2,000 metres has seen him race quite well in this, Paul. And he goes back to Sha Tin this week.
Yeah, I think which is a good thing for him coming back to Sha Tin because we've seen him race well in the past. So he definitely goes in. And also Fiery Flying, I think a win looks close to him. Look, the distance, he looks a real out-and-out star, Fiery Flying. His last start when he did run here behind Chorus Unicorn was over the course and distance, and you can see he just goes one pace. So I think from the draw, he's going to get a nice run, 3 back on the inside, and that'll suit him. So both Joyful Champion and Fiery Flying in for me.
There's a good report. Starship 80 is the one that finishes just behind them. To Happy Valley now, here is Fortune Triple winning. 1,800 metres, his wins had all been further leading into this race. However, he's had 3 goes over the 2,000 at Sha Tin. He's yet to hit the board, and he's by far best form is at the Valley. Yeah,
and barrier 13 for him. So I actually would prefer him at the Valley Fortune Triple. Jerry Chow will just need to get him into a nice enough position there. Look, he did win nicely enough, though. It was a nice enough win. And I didn't mind Happy Hero's run there because he was a little bit sort of shorter room there at one stage, and the 2,000 looks like it'll suit him.
Yeah, he's up in distance further this week. Now, this was a weird trial at Chung Fa. The 2 in front were miles in front mid-trial. They were up about 8 or 9 lengths. Co-partner Era and Winning Steps are the 2 at the back that are tailed off. Next thing, the first 2 fade, Paul, and Co-partner Era runs on, but he has been ridden along for quite some way.
Yeah, he has. Look, there are more jump outs, you know, these ones, especially the longer ones. So it's hard to gauge, you know, it's more of a training aid for the horse, isn't he? He's another one's been running at Happy Valley recently, comes back to Sha Tin, but as a winner at Sha Tin, he's won there 3 times, so he does like Sha Tin.
That is a look at some of the runners in the second. Which are the 4?
Going to go with Fiery Flying on top here, the 3. Just from he should get a really nice run from barrier number 2. Happy Hero up to the trip. Joyful Champion, we talked about him as well. He's coming back to Sha Tin. And Starship 80, very fit horse. He's had numerous runs already this season, and he should be right there. 3, 10, 12, 11.
Hugh Bowman is back at Sha Tin on Saturday, and Paul predicting he will partner Fiery Flying to victory in race number 2. We spin up race number 3. It's down the straight, 1,000 metres, and there's a very promising horse at the top of the book in this one. His name is Invincible Sage and carries just £5 extra than that previous start win. Pleasant Endeavour, 3-time course and distance winner. Sparkling Night, 5-time course and distance winner. Golden Darcy has his first Hong Kong start, wears a tongue tie. The Great Master on debut in Hong Kong. Euro Rocks will have cheek pieces on for the first time. Summer Cheers comes up in grade on the back of a last start win, and Super Commander's got a couple of cheeky races down the straight lately. Paulie had struggled in this grade Class 3 at times, but his last two have been good.
They have been good, and he's got the pace, I think, to get across and lead this field as well. Golden Darcy's shown a little bit of pace in his trials. He's a first starter here in Hong Kong. Metro Warrior should go forward, he normally does. And Sports Legend went back on debut, but his last two trials he's gone forward and looked quite good. So I expect him to be a little bit more prominent.
Invincible Sage is where we start. Nick with his jockey, Hugh Bowman.
Hugh, Invincible Sage, one of your rides on Saturday, looks to be a plum ride as well down the straight, and he was very good when victorious last time.
Yes, Nicholas, he was excellent first up last preparation over 1,002. He was a bit unlucky not to get some room late, but he was dominant off a pretty hot speed last start, and hopefully they run along again. I'll switch him off wherever he's comfortable, and I think it's fair to expect a similar performance.
And I guess what was quite telling, Hugh, is the turn of foot that he showed. I mean, for a sprinter, it's fully expected, but he was pretty rapid, this guy, wasn't he?
He was, and he wanted to get on with things early. He's a very uncomplicated horse, and he does like to compete. So from draw one, I just switched him off and got him in a rhythm. And next thing I found myself, a good 6 or 8 lengths off the pace. I thought I'm a fair way off them, but that was an indication of just how quick they were going up front, and I think it might have helped him get into that rhythm. But when I asked him for full effort, his response was outstanding, and I'd like to think we'll go in with a similar game plan. Where I actually settle down will depend on the speed they go, but he's a very sensible horse, and he's grown and strengthened up from last preparation to this one, and like I said, there's no reason why he can't repeat last start performance.
With all of that in mind, obviously he's now gone to the top end of this grade. He's got to carry the 135, but in your mind, is there still a good bit of sort of progression to come from this guy?
Well, I don't think he needs to progress, actually, but I do. I think there is still progression. He's only, he came from Australia with good, consistent form, lightly raced, and he seems to have settled in well. He's got the right temperament to do well here in Hong Kong, in my opinion, and I guess this is still a stepping stone, but look, I can, win, lose or draw tomorrow, I can see him being effective once he goes up in Class 2, this horse.
Yeah, I suppose without putting the cart before the horse, he's well thought of by David. He's given him that entry for IR, obviously plenty of water to pass under that bridge, but he obviously thinks a bit of him too.
Well, I think that's an indication of where the sprinting ranks lie here in Hong Kong too. I mean, you've got Lucky Swayness, and you've got a few other progressive horses, but Wellington's he's at the pointy end of his career, and Lucky Swayness is sort of the benchmark. So, but outside of those two, there's that we're waiting to see who's going to put their hand up, and I'll be interested as everyone else to see where this guy can measure up. Now, whether he pushes up to that level just now, or whether it's 6 or 12 months away, but I think he's a pretty handy horse, and he didn't get the trip over 1200 last preparation, but we were riding him a bit differently. But it's early days. He's got the nomination if he puts his hand up to say he's ready for it, but David's very sensible too, so if he doesn't put his hand up, I'm sure he'll bide his time.
And just finally, it'd be remiss of us not to welcome you back, of course, but of enforced time on the sidelines. You must be raring to go.
Yeah, I certainly am. It's been a little too long, I mean, it was unfortunate to get the 2 suspensions, but it is what it is. Spent some quality time with the family and spent some time sort of preparing for my comeback as well, so looking forward to getting back in the saddle.
Hugh Bowman there talking Invincible Sage. Now we head to more 1,000-metre racing here, Paul, with Super Commander running third. Summit Cheers wins this race, but he notoriously struggles when he comes up into this grade.
He does, doesn't he? Whereas Super Commander used to, but he doesn't so much anymore. Look, he's been sticking on really nicely, Super Commander. Pyong's really got this horse going well. I think he can get across from an inside draw, get out to the outside rail. And with 115 pounds in front, I'm going to include him because I think he's a horse that is just going nicely. And these sprinters just keep going, don't they?
They do, and he'll be ridden by Sha Tin, who's a pretty good book of rises, Karis, on Saturday afternoon. Summit Cheers, he's been to the trial since and run second behind New Power up at Chung Fa following that victory, which was impressive enough, but it's the class rise that he hasn't coped with in the past. Next up, newcomers Golden Darcy and the Great Master. on what we've seen at the trials, one looks much further forward than the other.
Yeah, Golden Darcy looks quite good. Tongue Tie comes on him for the first time, 1151 pounds. He's had 4 trials now. He's a full brother to Sky Darcy, who won the Derby, of course. So you'd think this would be a little bit too short for him, although I don't think Sky Darcy would have gone back out to 2,000 metres. He looked like a miler. So this is a stepping point for him. But look, I've liked these trials. Zach Purton aboard, so I am going to include him because his class might get him into the placings.
He was a horse that ran third in a listed race at Hastings when trained by Sean Phelan in New Zealand prior to arriving. So that's a look at some replays and also the thoughts of Hugh Bowman. Does he just win again, Invincible Sage?
I think he does, actually. I do like him in this race. And look, it was a really strong win from him. I think he can win again. The improver for me is number 6, Sports Legend. Just had the 1 start. Now, they went back on debut, but he's gone forward in both his trials. And he's actually looked really good in his last couple of trials. So he goes in there in front of Golden Darcy and Super Commander. 165.10.
Hugh Bowman, David Hall, the ones to beat again with Invincible Sage in the third. Scratching alert in race number 4. Right is Rain is out. Race 4, number 6 is gone. Won't be running. But those that are include the following. Over the 2,000 metres for the Class 4. It's Amazing Teens was good on the turf at Happy Valley last time. Darcy Joy has his first go at the trip. Super Hong Kong races well course and distance. Billionaire Secret 1 for 1 over this trip of 2,000. Pakistan Friend is on a 7-day backup. Happy Angel's best form so far has been at Happy Valley. Captain Hurricane goes up in distance. Sunny Baby, he is a horse that is coming off a second behind Fortune Triple last time, with Jubilation aiming for a hat-trick down the bottom. Short run to the first turn, as we know, Paul, from the 2,000 metre start point, and that might be good news for Happy Angel because he can get across while a few of them work. Well,
look, there's 4 horses that like to lead in this race. Happy Angel, Pakistan Friend, Horse of Good Luck's led in his last couple, and Forever Glorious, who's just drawn the widest of the lot. So he just might have to work to get across. That's why I thought Happy Angel might be able to sneak across and get to the rail first from barrier number 5. Jubilation will get a nice run. Now, Billionaire Secret's drawn really well, but he's got the early speed. But in saying that, he should get a nice economical run around that first bend.
Especially if the tempo is good as anticipated. Now, this is Forever Glorious running 11th, Dazzling Fellow 3rd, Happy Angel 5th. The shock result here was Amazing Teens. He went off at 46 to 1 in this race, had done nothing on the turf. Are you going with him, or you want to see him do it again and going something else?
Yeah, I want to see him do it again. I don't mind Happy Angel here, especially if he gets to the front, because he is an out-and-out stay. You can see he was still leading here, and he was just swamped late. Look, they went a bit quick in front here, and these back runners managed to get up. Dazzling Fellow, I thought, was a good run as well. He's going really nicely this season.
All right, that is the first replay. Off to the all-weather we go for the second with Billionaire Secret. You said during the speed map, he's a horse that likes to get back, and this just sums him up. He ends up running 4th here. He's going to have no issues with the distance.
No, 2,000 looks good, and we know he's won over it before. He'll get back, he'll be running on. Whether he'll get there in time, that's the question. But look, I've included him because he's hard to leave out, because we know he has got a good finish on him.
That is him in those green colours and the stable on fire. Pierron, who's already sitting on 16 wins for the season. So that was Billionaire Secret. Finally, some Class 5 form around Sunny Baby last time. There he is turning for home up on the outside. He comes back up in grade. Karis Teaton on board. His wins have been to 1,800 so far. His running style looks like 2,000 will be okay. What do you think?
Yeah, he's won at Sha Tin before. He's had 2 goes over the 2,000. Hasn't really done anything. I prefer him in Class 5, to be honest, okay. I mean, this is a lot harder than that race.
All right, we'll put him on the wait and see list. We will Sunny Baby until he gets down in grade. Once again, your selections.
Going to go with Happy Angel on top here. I think he can get to the front. And if he does, he can dictate and he can win. Dazzling Fellow, nice run from him last time. Billionaire Secret gets back and runs on. And Jubilation's been in great form. Comes in with this light weight. He's got to do it up in Class 4. But the 2 wins in Class 5 I thought were really good. And he's drawn well barrier 3. He should get a really nice run. 9, 12, 4, 14.
It's an open race, and not surprisingly, it's the first leg of the Triple Trio. Race number 5, and it's the Panasonic Lighting Handicap on Panasonic Cup Day, and it's a 1600 metre Class 3. Leading Fortunes had 2 trials since we last saw him. He's a 6-time course and distance winner. Silver King makes his Hong Kong debut. Powerful Wings on a 7-day backup. Speed Dragon first start in Hong Kong also. Murado was well supported last time and was beaten 4.5 lengths. We saw Beauty Fit last weekend. Master of Fortune raced wide on the 15th of October. Precise Express is a last start winner, and Harry's Hero wears a hood for the first time. Speed comes here from Murado. Silver King, Leading Fortune, Beauty Fit, Master of Fortune. He'll be much happier with that run than he had last time, Paul.
Yeah, he should be able to get himself. I think every horse will get their opportunity here because it's not going to be an overly fastly run race. Murado can probably get to the front and lead. Silver King is one of the debutants. He's led in all his races overseas. Has had 4 trials to get him ready. Going back, Powerful Wings goes back, Invincible Missile goes back, You're My Everything. And Speed Dragon, another one of the first starters, I think, will bide his time.
We're going back to last weekend and Beauty Fit, one of the best rated horses at the program, Paul. He's won off rating 77, 76 and 70. Runs off 65 in this race. But what about the quick backup?
Yeah, quick backup, and look, he's a horse that he's hard to catch, isn't he? 3-time winner from his 36 starts. He's got to put 2 in a row. Look, he's drawn nicely in barrier number 2. Antoine Hamlin rode him here. He'll ride him once again, but look, I just worry about him putting 2 together. It was a nice run, and look, the 2 horses that did beat him are quite nice horses as well.
Drombeg Banner and a massive running defeat by Green and White also. Next up, we head off to Precise Express, winning at Happy Valley. He is way down in the weights here, carries 122 pounds because this win in Class 4, but he has won in this grade in the past. He
has, but he had the race run to suit here and he just swamped them late. They went quite quick in this race. Did Precise Express, comes back up in grade. I think he's going to find this tougher. It's not, again, another one that's hard to find. Just a 3-time winner from his 31 starts.
We'll see a number of those horses running in an earlier race on the program also. There's been a bit of talk around about Speed King since Frankie Law made him his horse to follow from the stable on Racing to Win. Has Speed Dragon been flying a little under the radar because of that? Yeah, I think he might have been. And look, I've made him the each-way play. We'll see what price he comes up. Speed Dragon, he's had 4 trials to get him ready, 11.79 pounds. It was a nice win from Silver King. All his wins back in New Zealand were on wet tracks though, so he's got to do it on top of the ground, but look, there's no reason why he can't. He hasn't really tried it, so we don't know if he can or not. Cross nose band tongue tie goes on, and he's had 4 trials as well. So I think both these 2 horses are legitimate chances. All right, good report for the 2 newcomers having their first runs on Saturday afternoon, but you're keen as a bean on Speed Dragon. Yep, and he goes on top as his old name there, keen as a bean, as Speed Dragon. So he's on top the 5. The 9, Master of Fortune, he goes in there for 2nd. Silver King, we're going to put him in there for 3rd, the other first starter. And Murado, I think if he gets an easy lead in front, look, he's more than capable. His last win's off 63. He is at a 68 rating, but look, I think he's capable off a slow pace. 5.926. And that is race number 5, the first leg of the Saturday 6-up. Race number 6, there's a last start winner at the top of the book in this one, and it is a Class 4 over the 1,400 metres, and that last start winner carries an extra 8 pounds. Noble Pursuit for the victory over Smart Fighter. War of Courage race wide first up, and he's got a pretty good second up record. Smiling Collector tongue tie off, Chateau blinkers off, Golden Champion blinkers off. Volcanic Spark is on debut. Holy Lake an extra 3 pounds for that placing to fund together last time. Tactical Command is up in trip. Charmander raced wide first up. In Gluck Racer, he was a newcomer to the Cody Moe stable with instant success, winning in Class 5 last time. War of Courage goes forward here. Paulie draws barrier number 8, gets a claim of 5 pounds for Angus Chung. Holy Lake, Go Heroes won a... No, he hasn't. Go Go Go's won a trial since we've last seen him. He follows Gluck Racer and Go Hero out there. Yeah, Noble Pursuit, I think he'll go back from barrier 11. That's what he did last time and run really nicely. Tactical Command, it's likely to go back with Boom Alliance. Smiling Collector went forward in a recent trial that he won, so he might get himself into a nice position. Holy Lake blinkers went on him last time, and he ran a lot better. He sure did. He's going to be up outside the speed again in this race. Our first replay is that winning form of Noble Pursuit. He comes from a long way back, 127 pounds up to 135, and draws gate number 11 again.
Yeah, I think he can win again, this horse. He's just had the 3 starts, and you can see him get to the outside. He really stretched out nicely and won. So I think he's got rating points in hand. The barrier 11's not going to be too much of a problem for his running style, because he got back here. I think he'll get back once again. And look, he's only going to run 3rd or 4th about now, but you can see him really stretching out and winning this race. So look, he looks like in time he's going to be wanting 1600, but keeping him at 14 here.
Good start for our first replay in Noble Pursuit. Here is Holy Lake. You mentioned him last time. This is the second Charmander he raced wide the trip. He'll be fitter for it. Either of these two in?
I'm going to put Holy Lake in because, look, I didn't have him in last time and he was a big price at 24s, but the blinkers obviously work for this horse because he's run a lot better. This is his first glimpse of form, Holy Lake, since he was a Griffin. So from barrier number 6, I think he can get himself into a nice position, and I think he's a horse that obviously he's really benefited from that gear change, so he's definitely in.
He showed good improvement between his first 2 starts back to beaten 5 1/2 and then beaten half a length in that replay you just saw. Now the trial of Smiling Collective. Had some time for this horse and he has been a little out of form, but did trial well enough here.
I thought he did, right? And look, he's a hard horse to catch, there's no doubt, but there's plenty of ability there. He's drawn barrier number 5. Now Luke Ferraris does know this horse quite well and he knows he's got a few quirks. Look, I just like the way that he came through the gap here and won this particular trial. So it was a nice trial from him. And look, I think he'll get a similar run on race day. So look, I'm going to include him, but he is a hard horse to catch.
That is Smiling Collective. And there is a first starter in this race called Volcanic Spark. He's had 6 trials, 4 of them this season. Seems to have improved with each run, each trial. Although he's stoked up here in the lead, he just manages to hold on and win this.
He did, didn't he? Look, he went 2 lengths clear here, and you could see the rider not really pushing him out at this stage, and everyone was sort of coming at him. But you look at the jockey's arms there on the actual winner of the trial, and he didn't actually push him all the way down the straight. He's had another couple of trials where he's been back. As you say, he's improved with every trial.
Improved enough to get in your selections?
Yeah, I'm going to put him in. Not on top, but I will put him in the selections. Look, it's a really good race, this one, and I'm going to go with Noble Pursuit. I think he'll get back. He'll be running over the top of them. Smiling Collector, Volcanic Spark and Holy Lake do go in. We've spoken about all 4 of those horses, 1, 3, 6 and 8.
That is back-to-back wins for Hugh Bowman and Casper Founds with Noble Pursuit if he wins race number 6. It is feature race previewing time right now. The Panasonic Cup is race number 7, Class 1 over the 1400 metres, and Tuchel resumes with some very good first up form. Circuit Stella's on the class drop. His first 2 runs back have been in group company. Sylvester 3-time course and distance winner. 6 weeks between races for Attila Bagil. Find My Love disappointed last time, but he was going well before that. Dancing Codes looking to win his first race at Sha Tin. The speed from Sylvester here, Paul, and we've seen Circuit Stella. They've been happy to take trails recently too.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think that would be 1-2. Then Dancing Code can be a lot closer than he was in the last run. Red Lion can sit handy with Tuchel, Attila Bagil, the Golden Ceremony, Find My Love. I think all these horses will get their chance. Even though it's good to slow, there won't be much over the whole field.
The master trainer has 2 in the race, Tuchel and Red Lion. Here is John Size with Nick.
John, the Panasonic Cup is our feature race on Saturday. You've got a couple of runners, both making their seasonal reappearances. If we could start with Tuchel, he did a fairly good job for you last season.
He did. He raced consistently all the way through the season. He was in pretty good shape most of the time, and he acquitted himself very well. Just got beaten in the Derby, and I suppose that was a very good effort.
Certainly was. How pleased have you been with his efforts in his trials? You've given him a number of trials to prepare him for this.
No, he's been okay. He's had a good break and a little bit of time off to try and recuperate. Seems all right at the moment, so we'll learn more when we go to the races.
He's always possessed quite a good fresh record, John. Coming into this new season, are you happy with where he's at? Do you think he's ready to sort of really fire first time?
I think so. I mean, he's got a handicap he has to live up to, and performed first up from a break, which is not easy to do. but he'll have to improve on that to win the race. So if he can run up to his handicap, he's probably doing very well.
He's got a new jockey as well this time in. Hugh Bowman will take the ride, obviously. Certainly not a bad substitution for Zach.
Yeah, well, he's going to suit him well, I think. Like, he's a pretty easy horse to manage. I don't think he's that difficult in a race. So I think Huey will handle it all right.
You've also got Red Lion in the contest as well. Lexi Bedell knows him very well. Talk me through his latest trial, John, because he looked very impressive the way he did that.
He trials well, normally probably because of the surface, the all-weather track Sha Tin. I think he handles it okay. So he does look good in the trials, but he takes it to the races also. So he's been very consistent. You know, he's a very diligent worker. He likes his training and his racing, and he always seems to run a good race.
He's a very versatile horse, you say. Rapid rise. I mean, I think he started last season off 71, didn't he? Now he's into triple figures. So did you expect him to sort of come as far as he has done when you received the horse?
Well, we don't know what to expect actually until we start racing them. But the first day he went to the races in Hong Kong, he was impressive. He'd come from a very wide gate at Happy Valley, and that night he was telling us that he wanted to be a racehorse and he was happy to be here.
There's only a couple of pounds between them, John, on official ratings. Can you split them? Is there much between them, or are they quite closely matched, the pair?
I think the distances will separate them. You know, I think that'll probably when they sort of define their distance, then they'll probably be different types of horses.
We've got those to look forward to, of course. This morning you treated us to a couple of the stable stars trialling. I mean, I suppose it wasn't necessarily for us, it was a matter of course. But Sight Success went round in a trial, Beauty Eternal was another. How are both of those horses?
They're fine. Sight Success seems to have come out of his win quite well. He looks in pretty good shape. It didn't seem to upset him at all. And today his trial looked normal. It looks like he's going to repeat the effort. And Beauty Eternal, he looks fine. He's making progress along the way. He seems to be in better condition now than he was before he went his first up run. So he should run a better race.
And John, just finally, Wednesday night kept us all in suspense till the last race. Couldn't quite get the job done, but it wouldn't be lost on you that you're one away from the 1500. I know you're always very quick to defer the credit to the Equine Stars. Plenty of very nice horses, big winners amongst them, but that'll be quite the milestone once you get there, which should be very soon.
Yeah, well, it's all the milestones are important, and as you tick off things as you go along, and one thing about the records or milestones that you attain, they're there forever, they're part of history, and they're pretty important. So hopefully we'll get the 1500s soon and put it behind us.
John Size there on his two runners in the Panasonic Cup. Opposition includes Paul Circuit Stella, who does have to carry bigger weight, 134 pounds. He's coming out of the Group 3 second placing behind Healthy Happy and the fourth behind California Spangle in this race.
Look, he's been a victim of his own success here, Circuit Stella, because he's up to 105. His last win was in the 90s, but he's been so consistent running these seconds and thirds, he just keeps creeping up the ratings. As such, he has to carry 134 here in this particular contest. So, look, he's an honest horse, but look, I'm just not so sure with some of these horses, they're really lightweight, that he's really suited in this race. He did run third in this race, 20 pounds less, so that gives you an idea.
Okay, that is a Circuit Stella. Now we're going to the start of this race because we have a few of them to look at here. Tullabegil wins from Barrier 2. Sauvest, who as we saw on the speed map is the likely leader in the race. Dancing Code 5th, the Golden Scenery 7th, and Find My Love. He was disappointing from his wide draw, and he draws barrier number 7 in a smaller field. So away they go. Tullabegil off the inside began okay. Sylvester showing some pace. Back goes Find My Love, Paul. And Dancing Code is another interesting runner in the black and red colours. He's yet to win at Sha Tin, but his racing style is suggestive of a horse that will suit Sha Tin.
He was way back here in this particular contest. So as such, look, he didn't really get the race run to suit because they didn't go overly fast. And he ran the fastest sectional coming in, as you'd expect from the back. But yeah, I think that's what the point of that was.
So there are the sectionals across the bottom of the screen: 13.47, 21.68, 23.15 and 23.16. Are we focusing on Dancing Code here? And are you going to forgive one of your old favourites in Find My Love?
Well, he was the same. He was last, so he had a clear excuse in this race. Dancing Code couldn't get through. So, look, we've seen the whole race now, and you can basically see that Dancing Code was blocked for room. Comes in this race with 115. Tullabagil got that really good run through the inside and won nicely. So, look, I think that's what we're seeing there.
Here's some further evidence to support your sectional time theory.
Yeah, that's just what we said. So you can have a look for that for yourself.
1:21 race time, standard 1:21.55. There you have it. That is the Panasonic Cup. Who wins?
Going to go with Dancing Code off the back of that, because he didn't really get anything race to suit, and as such I think he's going to run home really nicely and be a lot closer in the run. So I think over 115 he really gets the race conditions to suit. The John Size pair, Red Lion and Tuchel. Red Lion hasn't won fresh before, but Tuchel's won twice fresh from his 3 starts, and Find My Love comes out of that same race with Dancing Code. So 8, 3, 1 and 7.
Another winner for Casper Founds in Paul's selections in the feature of the day. Race number 8 now, and the scratching graphic is back again because Can't Go Wong is not running, but Arthur's Kingdom is. He'll be number 2 to be ridden by Matthew Poon. This is the Panasonic Speed Oven Handicap. And Entrusted's had 2 trials since his last start. Serangoon has the hood coming off. Celtic Times has drawn the inside gate. Mr. Dapper, he was strong at his first start. Quick backups for Noble Win and Aestheticism. 6 days for the pair of them. Blissful Stars runs second in a trial since his last start. The Equaliser has the blinkers coming off. Affirm up in distance from the 1200 to the 1600. And Superb Movers placed 2 from 3 course and distance. Affirm, he raced wide in that Jungfar trial. Paulie showed pace early. Just couldn't get over Superb Move, Blissful Star and Celtic Times, who's been supported lately, will get a good trip.
He should do as well. He'd raced quite well at Happy Valley at Celtic Times, but Affirm couldn't get over from over 1,200 metres. He should be able to easily get over the 1,600 metres, and that's why I think he looks the only leader in the race. Superb Move likes to go forward, as does Blissful Star. They're both doing wide, so they can come across together. Aestheticism will try and get a nice run midfield. I think Mr. Dapper might be just slightly closer on his debut run.
We're going to start though with Nick talking to the rider of Aestheticism, Zach Purton.
Zach, Aestheticism is a horse on the quick backup, a horse that you rode last time, of course, and I guess things didn't quite go to plan in the sense that there wasn't a great deal of room, but he did finish off strong.
I think what he showed was that he doesn't need to make a long, sustained one-pace run around the circle and in the straight. He's a little bit more versatile than that, and it actually suited him, being ridden in a different manner.
He's trained by Pierre Ung, who does like to keep his horses very busy. I mean, he's going to be a very fit horse, isn't he? And last time out, obviously, did everything bar win. I guess you'd be fairly confident this Saturday.
Yeah, well, his horses have been backing up well and performing well, so hopefully he can do the same. He just doesn't help himself in the first part of the race. He hasn't got the most amount of gate speed, but if things go his way, he should be a chance.
Just having a look at the race on paper, I mean, Pierre's probably found what looks to be very winnable. Do you not think?
Yeah, well, it's hard to win any race, so it doesn't matter what he's against, he's still got to go out there and do it.
Just where he's drawn, he's in 4. That puts him in a pretty decent spot, I suppose. You get plenty of cover there?
Hopefully he can just get out the gates. That's the biggest issue with him. He's quite slow and sluggish and can't get into stride. So if he can just help us early in the race and get a nice position, then that's going to take us a long way further.
Zach, obviously racing is obviously your number one, but I know another one of your great passions happening this week in Hong Kong, of course, the golf. We saw a couple of the stars at Happy Valley in the week. You've managed to enjoy that on a couple of off days so far this week?
Yeah, so I went out there on Thursday, had a good look at the guys and the course, and yeah, it's just a pleasure to watch them play. They make it look so easy. Their ball striking is unbelievable, and just the way that they work their way around the course, it does make me feel like I am the amateur that I am when I'm hacking my way around there. But you know, they're good at what they do, and it's nice to have them in town.
I guess seeing Cam and Wade, etc., on horses might be a bit interesting as well. So I wouldn't discredit yourself too much.
Yeah, I'd like to see how long they can stay on one.
I reckon Zach could look like with a mullet.
Don't think anyone could wear a mullet like Cam Smith.
No, it's a thing of beauty, is that mullet. We need to go back a couple of starts ago for Aestheticism now, because here he is running third. That's him wider on the course. The run of Mr. Dapper here, Paul. This was his first start. It was very good, albeit a touch luckless too in the home straight. We've got Celtic Times Noble win in Arthur's Kingdom too.
We know athleticism's come out from this run and run unlucky in his last start, but I thought Mr. Dapper run was just as equally as good as athleticism in this run. He came back from off a really slow pace in this race, and there was only about a nose in it between the two of them once they hit the line, and this was only his first start. He can only improve from here, I think, Mr. Dapper. So, look, if athleticism overbet on Saturday, I'd be really looking at with the price of Mr. Dapper, because it was a good run from him.
Oh, that's a really good push for Mr. Dapper there. Karis Teaton rides him. Now, this is the run of Northern Beast, and if Mr. Dapper was a touch unlucky, so too was Northern Beast in this replay. Hugh Bowman partners up again with David Hall in this race.
Yeah, look, he didn't get much room at all, did he? Hugh, he's in that pink jacket. You can see him go back to the inside there, and then the gap closed a little bit. Holy Lake and the Reds going to race in an earlier race, so we might get a little look at the form. But you can see, look, he goes back to the inside, still looking for that gap. Was nowhere to be seen. And once he got clear, he was a willing partner and really finished off quite strongly. So, look, I think there's three main chances in this race, and we've seen all three of them.
Do we need to show Special Hedge then?
Well, we can show him if you want.
OK, what do you make of his trial? It was pretty good. He led all of the way and was pushed out a little bit halfway down the straight, but responded well.
He's got it was a nice enough sort of trial from him. He's had two starts and finished last in both of them. From barrier number 3, so he can only improve. One of those runs was on the weather. He was pushed out here, but I'm happy to watch him, what I've seen on race day.
All right, so he's not going into the top 4. You've given away the top 3. Who gets the lucky fourth door prize as the selections are about to spin up?
Going to go 8, 6, 10 is in that order for the top 3, but be interested in Mr. Dapper if he comes up a bit of a price. But athleticism, Mr. Dapper and Northern Beast. Celtic Times, now he's been racing pretty well at Happy Valley in particular. Comes back here to Sha Tin from an inside barrier draw, so he goes in there for 4th. It's around the top 3 for me, 8, 6, 10 and 4.
And race number 8 is the first leg of the second treble also. This is a good field, race number 9, and the second last is a Class 3 over the 1,200 metres. Viva Chaleur resumes on the back of 3 trials. Super Fortune, a 3-time course and distance winner. Module Construction carries an extra £4 for his last start win. Toronto Phantom is a 2-time course and distance winner. Beauty Waves goes up in trip. Mugen tongue tie off. Speed Sword is on debut. Super 10 is now with Michael Chang. Blinkers and tongue tie off, and the crossover noseband goes on. And Red Elegance Minus across noseband wears a hood for the first time. Super Fortune, Paulie always rolls forward. Champion Method's going to come and sit up outside of him.
Yeah, look, he's sort of been right on the pace, Champion Method, in both his 2 starts to date. So I can see him sort of happily sitting there. Red Elegance led at his last start, but he's better with a bit of a sit. Module Construction's very consistent horse. And Jolly Companion, the first starter here in Hong Kong, he's had 3 trials to get him ready. Has shown a little bit of pace.
Andrea Redzani is our interview. Ray, the unbeaten Champion Method.
Andrea, Champion Method, one of your rides on Saturday. He's a perfect 2 from 2, this guy, and he really is developing into a nice horse, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, I actually sat on him yesterday. He seems like he's definitely grown a lot mentally and physically. He's taking his races on the right way. Yeah, he's in tomorrow, stepping up to Class 3 level. Obviously with bottom weight, but he's done nothing wrong so far. We're drawn 8, which is okay. Mind you, the last day when we won, I was drawn wide anyway, so he seems pretty straightforward, that way. He doesn't win by far, but he seems to get the job done so far anyway.
And just on his performance last time, how much did his mental and physical capacity come into play? Because am I right in thinking you were headed, and he really did battle back well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was obviously first when he won over 1,000 metres first time here on the straight course, and first time around the bend. I always had to use him quite a bit because I was drawn wide, and we rode him quite prominent. He travelled into the race quite nicely. Like you said, I definitely got headed by the 2nd and 3rd horse, and he came back at them. So hopefully there's a bit more left in the tank with him.
He seems to have that wonderful attitude, doesn't he? He seems to really enjoy his racing, I suppose.
He's a legend. I actually rode him yesterday, and I'll just give him an easy bit, obviously, because he's running tomorrow. And like you wouldn't think is it 1,200 metre horse. You actually wouldn't think he won over 1,000 metres. He go around there, he feels like a miler. He's got that good of a mentality. So let's hope his broken record continues.
I know we always expect it, but have you felt him improve? I know it was only an easy bit of work, as you've touched upon, but have you felt him sort of come on nicely for that win?
He has, yeah. He's got a great mind. He's a very good-looking horse, and with a great attitude, and which, you know, these sort of horses, these young horses, when they've had two hard runs as well, it could go either way. But he seems to be taking his races quite well, and he's got a great attitude, and hopefully he'll go close again tomorrow.
He's a pretty confident-sounding young man there, Andrea, talking about Champion Method. He'll need to be better again, Paul, because this horse is nothing but super consistent. Module construction, 8 starts, never missed a top 2 finish, only goes up £4 for this win. He is just the ultimate competitor.
He is module construction, and look, it was a really nice run once again from him. He has won in Class 3. Now he's had a couple of starts here, that third and then the first. So a good run from him, very consistent, has to go up and weight. Barrier 1, he's going to... Champion Method will know he's been in the race.
Yeah, look, it's a great clash. It doesn't end there, though. There is a newcomer in the race called Speed Sword. Now, he's in this trial finishing at 3rd at the end. He's had 4 trials in total. He was a winner on a heavy track in Australia last time. Alexi Bedell rides him for Frankie Law.
Yeah, he's a maiden winner coming up here to Hong Kong, so... on a heavy track, tongue tie goes on him. He trialled nice enough. He's had the 4 trials to get him ready. His trials have been okay, but look, he got beaten here in this trial by Go Go Go, who is racing earlier in the card. Look, I'm happy to watch him in this field because I think he's picked a nice field to start here in Class 3.
All right, so whatever he does, expect maybe better going forward from Speed. So as you said, it is a really good race.
Yeah, really good race here. But I'm going to go with Champion Method. I think he can beat Module Construction. So that's a Quinella for me, 12 to beat 4. Tornado Phantom, he's won off an 80 rating before. He's down to 66. And Beauty Waves was really well backed on his debut run over 1,000. He sort of just stayed on the one pace. Barrier number 13 for him might make it a little bit tricky, but 1,200 looks good. 12, 4, 6, 7.
That's race number 9, full of quality at 10 minutes past 5 local time. Final race, race number 10, and on a Saturday afternoon it will jump out at 5:45 local time. Amazing Victory has his second start for Chris So. Hyper Dragon Ball's mixing his form this season. Capital Legend comes back in trip. Red Acclaim has his first start in Hong Kong. He's had 3 trials. Flying Mojito last start winner in Class 4. We've got D-Star minus a hood, Show Respect minus cheek pieces at the blinkers. Super Winner's a 5-time course and distance winner. Up and Up has the blinkers coming off, and Kaying Cheer comes up in grade, gets a good draw, and also a lightweight Paul, and has pace, but so too, as we know, does the grey Super Winner.
Yeah, he does, but I think he'll take the sit here. They wouldn't want to get into a speed battle, these 2 horses. Show Respect can go forward. Arataki Summit likes to go forward as well. Hyper Dragon Ball, Flying Mojito. Joyful Hunter should get a nice run, and I think Ratham Kingdom will go all the way to the back. So we'll see what happens with Super Winner. I don't think they'll want to get into a speed battle, though.
Can you talk to your people about the speed map and when Super Winners make him grey on the speed map?
Yeah, we could do something like that for you.
It's all about facts. Flying Mojito, he's a last start winner. Zach Purton sticks. David Hall could be in for a big day. He's got Invincible Sage, Northern Beast, just to name a few, and this guy as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of the big chances in the race as well. So you're right. Flying Mojito, he's been running really well in recent times, and he's doing it nicely. He's spent a bit of time up in Chung Fa, and he's back down here now, and he's a last start winner. We can see this at the back end of last season. Looking at his fresh record, though, he didn't do much fresh up last season.
And he's untested in this grade also is Flying Mojito. He's the first replay. The second one, now here is the horse in question, Super Winner, who was brown on the speed map, grey in real life. He runs second. Dennis Ship's got him flying, and Joyful Hunter, what have you made of his first 2 runs back?
I thought he was really unlucky 2 starts ago. He had to come wide here in this. Now, this again was run off a slow pace, so I thought it was a good run. I thought it was a really good run from Amazing Victory as well. Like, he's run second off 81 in the past. He's at the 78 rating. This was his first start for Chris So. But look, Joyful Hunter, he just couldn't make up the ground. And Taj Dragon, to be fair to Taj Dragon, is a horse that is very, very progressive, and then Super Winner had his own way in front. So I still thought it was a good run from Joyful Hunter.
Okay, that is figure for Joyful Hunter if you've been on him for a win the last 2. Kaying Cheer Paul, he runs 3rd here, thrown straight into Class 3 with £117 as opposed to the 135 here behind Telecom Dragon, drawn to get handy and go a cheeky race.
Yeah, been favourite both times. Ka Ying Chair did win, just beat Ladies' Choice, who's come out and run a placing since, just by the barest of margins. And look, this third here behind Telecom Dragon was still pretty good. He had his own way in front, but Telecom Dragon had been looking pretty good in his recent races. The second horse didn't do much on Wednesday night, though, in Happy Valley.
That's true. That was Regent Glory in between them there. So that's a look at the runners in the last. Who do you have on top?
I'm going to go with Joyful Hunter. I think he's quite a progressive horse there and didn't really get that race run to suit. Ka Ying Chair in for second will try and lead all the way. Flying Mojito fresh up, and then Amazing Victory. I wanted to include him as well. He has to carry the big weight, but he did come off that slow pace last start with a nice fifth. 3, 14, 6 and 1.
There it is. That is a preview for Panasonic Cup Day at Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon. 10 races on the A+3, all on the turf, and they start at 1 o'clock.